Parents in Calgary say their trust has been broken and they are demanding a public inquiry to learn how dangerous E. coli bacteria got into food that was served to their kids at daycares. So far, nearly 350 children have become sick with E. coli. This investigation focuses right now on a shared kitchen that supplied meals to several daycare centers and where inspectors found various code violations. Susan Cake is the head of the steering committee at Childcare Now Alberta. She's our guest this morning. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
So of those more than 300 sick children, 9 patients are receiving treatment in hospital. 7 daycare facilities are partially or fully closed as of yesterday. Why is a public inquiry needed here?
Well, we've seen harm to these children, we've seen harm to these families, and harm to the community. And a public inquiry would really go a long way just to remedying that harm as well as the public trust within our system.
How are parents feeling about the safety of their kids in daycares right now?
I think a lot of people, a lot of parents are questioning the choices that they've made, but we don't want them necessarily to question this. We want them to feel like their children are safe when they send them into care, especially care that's being supported by, our provincial and our federal governments. And so we really need the report to be, well, any inquiry to be comprehensive. We don't want it just to look at the conditions in this kitchen, which it absolutely should, but we want it to look at how nutrition and food actually fits into our entire childcare system and how it's funded. And right now, it's currently not funded distinctly by our provincial government.
So then how is this outbreak connected to the quality of childcare in Alberta?
Yes. Well, quality childcare provides quality food for children. It's a very important part of their growth and development socially. So we want to make sure that we are enabling providers to actually provide that quality. And right now, providers who provide food, they don't receive any additional support financially from a government, either federal or provincial. We'd really like to see that changed and addressed, so that we know that it's actually being supported by our government. Because this really showcases, this incident, what happens when you do not fund nutrition in childcare settings.
I have a question, Susan, and maybe it'll seem like a basic one. We know that most childcare centers are private in Alberta right now, around 67%. But how would government funding of food change the outcome of what happened in that kitchen?
So if we had proper funding into it, we could actually support the workers that are also in this kitchen and enable them to be able to do a job that ties it into quality. So about meal planning and meal prep, and make sure that they're not necessarily being driven by really slim margins or the desire to make a profit, which may result in cutting corners. So we'd like to see it fully funded and those workers funded, as well as just the childcare settings.
Is that part of the change you'd like to see in Alberta childcare?
Absolutely. And we want to make sure an inquiry actually focuses on the entire system and not narrowly focuses on just these circumstances. We should absolutely address those circumstances. But if we want to be preventative, then we need to make sure that we're making the investment.
Susan Cake, I want to thank you for joining us here on Your Morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.